But Sue's been here long enough to entitle her to a little bit longer than the usual ceremony. Cakes are usually for people who are leaving. We're very happy to have one for someone who stayed, and stayed, and stayed. As you may know by now, this is Sue's 50th anniversary at the Ledger. Her first day was 50 years ago yesterday, March 18th, 1968.
Well, I wore a miniskirt and fishnet stockings.
Is that appropriate? And I didn't even realize until I read her column, which you'll get a preview of, that she sat on the copy desk, which explains why we had a hard time finding her first byline. So while we're waiting for the food to get cold, I want to share a message that we got on Friday from someone I think whose name Sue would probably recognize, Ann Bailey of Plattsburgh, New York. She and Sue went to college together and have stayed very close ever since. So Ann sent Lisa an email, and she said, "I'm a Patriot Ledger reader because one of my very best friends, Sue Scheibel, is a longtime reporter with the Ledger. When she visited in February, she noted that it will be 50 years ago this week that she has been working for the Ledger. Sue may not have told anyone on your staff. However, a golden anniversary should not be overlooked. I hope that some mention of her long and successful tenure is made and that her faithful work is recognized."
So we pulled this all together. I'm teasing.
And
We knew, we already knew it.
She's given me some good stories too, yeah.
Well, I assured Ann that we were perfectly capable of forgetting something like that. But that for once we hadn't. I do have to say, this is obviously a surprise party. We had a couple of very tense moments, including one this morning when I waited for Sue to leave the office, and I went up to the car to get some things, and as I'm carrying them back in, there's a big gold fancy package and a bow and all this business. You know, who do I see walking out of the lobby but Sue? She's either not a very good reporter, or she has a good poker face, I don't know. I've only worked with Sue for 37 years. We shared a desk and a phone extension at the old Ledger building at 13 Temple Street. When Sue started at the Ledger, Don Wilder was the editor, Denny Allen was the GM, and Press Lowe was the publisher. A few of us remember all three of them. The Ledger was a dime a day.
Was it?
Yes,
Really?
10 cents.
Yeah.
So how long ago was 1968? Here's what I gleaned. I'll try to race through this, but here's what I gleaned from a few minutes of very extensive research. In the Heat of the Night won all the Oscars. It was the premiere of Rosemary's Baby and Night of the Living Dead. On TV, it was the debut of Laugh-In, One Life to Live, and Hawaii Five-0. Hair opened on Broadway. Hey Jude was the #1 single. And for those of you who need an explanation, that is like when they take one song on a record, they put it on one side, they put it on the other, and it's a 45 RPM, unlike an album, which is a 33, as you all know. It was also the year of the White Album. Quickly, here are some of the headlines in politics. Gene McCarthy shocks LBJ in New Hampshire. LBJ decides not to run. Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy were assassinated. There were riots at the Democratic National Convention. Hubert Humphrey was nominated, and Nixon was elected. In Vietnam, it was the year of the Tet Offensive, the My Lai Massacre, and the Pulitzer Prize-winning photo for the year is the one you'll all remember of the Viet Cong officer being executed at point-blank range. The day Sue started, the Ledger ran what I believe to be its first editorial critical of the Vietnam War. Which is, I don't know if that's a coincidence. I'll check with you first.
Quick influence.
Quickly, some miscellaneous headline. North Korea seizes the U.S. spy ship Pueblo. Some things never change. The Dow breaks 1,000. The president requires all new government computers to have ASCII. Jackie marries Ari. And Pierre Trudeau becomes the Prime Minister of Canada. I made that one up. In sports, the Celtics won their 10th championship. It was Bill Russell's last year as a player, but he continued as a player coach. and Red Auerbach was the GM. The defending American League champions finished 4th, and the Patriots were 4-10. They both played all their games, all their home games at Fenway. Quickly again, by the numbers, 9 presidents since Sue started, not counting this one, 11 governors, and 9 mayors. NASA had computers, but newspapers didn't. No IBM Selectrics, no ATEX, no Good News, no Zope, no Saxo, no News Cycle, no Onset, no blogs, no Tout, no tweets, no Facebook, no YouTube, no smartphones, no emails, no fax, no Google, not even AOL.
No ADP payroll.
Exactly. A lot of people in our business had trouble with technology. Sue adjusted. She'll tell you she struggles. Don't believe it. She plugs away and she gets everything. Every time she struggles with technology, she wins. I have to say, Sue is quiet and gentle. She does have a cantankerous streak. Over the years, whenever I've asked her to suggested a story to her, her immediate reaction is, I don't want to do that. Man, I'm too busy. And I always say, okay, that's all right. Don't worry about it.
That might be true.
2 hours later, she comes back and she says, well, okay, I've got most of the reporting done and it's half written. Through it all, she stayed faithful to our guiding purpose, and that's telling stories. She's covered every conceivable story over the years, but her strength has always been writing about people who aren't in the headlines. The column she's done for 30 years isn't really about aging, it's about people. I want you to hear from one of them in a minute, but first, we have as a special treat, we're going to have the world premiere of a video by the famed French cinematographer, Nathan Diabet Compagnon. Sorry,
That's
Nate.
almost that.
Close.